Welcome back, everyone. Going into the second hour here of RollPlay Solum. Neal, do we see the pyramids?
Well, they're a couple days out. Woo. But your journey there is mostly pleasant. You do not come across any more phase spiders. You don't come across any giant scorpions. You just come across a series of sand fleas, but they're not too terribly annoying.
Sand fleas? What?
They are fleas that live in the sand. They're about yay big, like the size of a quarter, and they bop around and kind of like land on people and try and drink their sweat off of them.
How much experience for the kills?
0. They pose no threat.
Me and Karn go and kill the entire... Here's what we do. We sterilize the males and make them prettier. And we're going to get XP for each one and rid them of the world.
Right.
So
the elves thank you for curing their sand malaria and welcome you to the feast.
Me and Karn are level 20. Sorry to Dante and Varnouche. We left you behind. And we kill both of you. And that's RollPlay Solum.
Yeah.
It was a trap. They're poisoned all the time. It's just a slow working poison.
It is revealed though that Abby died a long time ago.
Yeah.
No. No.
She hid somewhere and died of starvation. That's how she went.
That's true. Neal, take it back. Take the reins, Neal. We're taking them away.
No, I like you guys to run away with them. So you reach the end. You reach this pyramid. It's fairly large, like 80 feet tall, 80 feet on a side. I guess that's kind of small for a pyramid, but it's the largest pyramid that you guys have ever seen. And the ferry is buzzing out around the front door, which is made out of bronze-plated wood and tied shut with what seems to be very, very old rope.
Dante, this is you.
The ferry buzzes around the front door saying, I have a bad feeling about this.
Before we go in, Fairy, I know you know the way to these pyramids. Do you also know, do these types of pyramids usually have traps at the entrance or any kind of danger inside?
The elves are very protective of their dead. Here lies an elven king. I'm not terribly sure which one, but some old elven king. There's supposedly a curse that will be bestowed upon anyone who removes something from the tomb.
Dante, are we taking something?
Quite sure how the curse works.
I don't know what we're doing. I just know we're supposed to go inside, and then we will know it when we see it. Can you describe the door?
Is 6.5 feet tall. No, I'm sorry, 7 feet tall. It's a set of double doors. So each door is like 2.5 feet wide, so 5 by 7 width by height. It sounds like knocking on the door. It sounds like it's a bronze plating over a wooden core, and they've got the two big like pillar handles that have been tied together with rope.
Okay.
That has dried out in the desert.
Well, I could try and sort of stand back and maybe shoot the rope off, and then we can try and go in.
Yeah. Okay. I start walking away.
Okay.
I'm also being very careful about what's around us now.
Mm-hmm.
I tell the party to stand back, and I shoot an Eldritch Blast at the ropes holding the door together.
Okay, give me a roll to hit, and don't roll a 1.
Okay, I'm just gonna go D20.
Yeah,
I rolled a 2. Oh, what up?
Thank God those ropes are stationary. So you blast them apart into different pieces. The ferry kind of gets shot back from the impact, but doesn't suffer any damage. Just like the blast wave pushes Thimble about. And you guys are able to enter the tomb, if you so desire.
I nod at my imp and tell him to take the lead to open the door and go first.
Okay. The imp is having a little bit of trouble with the door. It's a little bit too heavy for him, but eventually someone manages to help him open the door.
Okay.
And he buzzes inward. It is pitch dark in there, but the imp can see in the dark, right?
We keep talking about this. I don't actually know. It's it's not an actual imp. That's why it's different.
But it uses the imp stat block, right?
No, I think it just only takes the form of an imp. But I'm sure we're going to be using torches anyway, so it'll probably be a moot point.
Okay. Well, my question is, can the imp explore it on its own in the dark, or does it need a light source to explore?
I'll let you answer that. I don't know.
Does anyone remember how we dealt with this in the past?
Nope. I didn't write it down or anything. It's not my character.
When we were exploring the last place, we had to use torches.
Right. I think the
Chat says it's got all the abilities of an imp, so
It does.
Okay, so it does have 120-foot dark vision, so the imp can see in the dark. No problem. Like, just no problem whatsoever. So the imp buzzes on in, and you can see through the imp's eyes, right? Or you can communicate with it telepathically.
Up to a certain distance.
Okay. Do you know that distance?
I think it's like 100 feet, and there's like a feat I can take later on to make it bigger, to make it anywhere actually. But right now I think it's just 100 feet.
All right.
But I have to be like standing still. It's like, Eyes of the Beast or something.
Right. So about 60 feet into this dungeon, this thingamajobber, there is a fork in the road. And there's the paths one of the paths goes up into the pyramid, and one of them goes down into the ground. Other than that, it is a
map for
smooth
this by
stone
any chance,
path.
do you?
We are getting there.
Okay.
I'm just looking for some tokens for the party.
Is it look like this has been traveled recently or no?
No, definitely not.
I cast Mage Armor.
Okay. Done.
Dante, I hand you a torch. I think you're leading. This is up to you.
So there's just two random paths, nothing really different between them?
One goes up, one goes down.
Okay. Let's try down.
Okay. All right. If I put you guys on here, can you see anything?
Yes.
Yep.
We see two paths.
Yep, I'm making controller characters.
Cool.
But we see everything now.
You see everything.
Yeah, there's no fog of war.
Well, that's kind of shitty.
Yeah, we're gonna avoid that monster there. I guess
that spider right there. Let's just not. Yeah.
I wasn't gonna say anything.
Well, that's shitty. All right, we're just gonna do it without the map then. Fuck the map. We'll do it the old-fashioned way.
Okay.
So you guys can proceed towards down the tunnel. You eventually get to a fork. You can go down, or you can go straight and up.
So my spider sense starts tingling a little bit, and
what you did there?
I decided we'd go straight.
I really think you should check all surfaces with your imp and be very careful. Possibly even use a stick to poke in case there is a trap. I heard bad things about pyramids.
Yes, he is. He will be leading the way the entire time.
So you're just like, Neal, we can't see him, but we can hear the fap. So it's like just like a silent. The further it gets away, but you can still kind of hear.
Is that how Dante channels being able to communicate with his imp?
No, that's what his imp does, I thought.
He doesn't ever stop.
It just jerks off all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He doesn't really produce anything anymore, but it's still great for him.
I mean, that stopped a long time ago.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just trying to figure out why. Never mind, doesn't matter. So you proceed forward. What is everyone's passive perception?
15.
Perception.
What?
One.
Your passive perception's 15?
That's what I have written down.
What's your wisdom?
15.
Mine.
And then you're trained in perception, right?
Yep.
Mine is a 3.
Motherfucker.
You're talking about
All right,
plus?
so-
Like, are you looking for our wisdom score or the number
Mine's
next
10.
to perception?
Oh no, mine's 13. Passive perception, 13. Yeah.
The number next to passive perception near the top of your character sheet
Yeah, I got
on the
10.
left side, to the right of strength.
Oh,
So-
11.
so 13.
11.
Okay. So, JP, as you guys are walking, you notice maybe a few feet in front of Karn, who is taking the point, I guess, or Dante, whoever's in the point.
Can I
You know,
just say one thing though?
Dante's point.
We're walking through a dangerous crypt. I feel like we wouldn't be using passive perception here because we'd be very cautious.
That's what passive perception is.
Passive is like, I feel like it's like you're just walking through the forest, whatever, there's no danger, right? Am I wrong here or?
Is
No,
that
I mean,
what?
if you're like whistling and caring about not paying attention, I would give you no passive perception. Passive perception is kind of like if you're paying attention, what do you notice? Just kind of like looking around. Active perception would be more of like, this area in particular is really interesting to me. I want to like thoroughly search it.
Got you.
But 15 is enough. As you guys are walking, you see about 8 feet in front of Dante, there's a strange crack in the ground. It runs horizontal across the path in front of you. And there's a fine layer of dust built up everywhere, except for this one spot. The rest of the party doesn't seem to notice it.
And Dante's leading?
Dante is leading.
Okay.
Only assume he jumps on the spot then.
Do you have, like, what do you have out, Ryan? Do you just have your orb? Do you have a torch?
I mean, I always have my orb in my hand, and I guess I have a torch in the other one.
Okay. I'm just like, Dante, stop. Grab the torch.
Okay.
I throw it towards the crack.
The torch lands on the crack and continues to sputter there, standing in the dust.
Just like, there's a trap ahead. You can see the torch illuminating that crack. Be careful where you walk. I'm sure there's a pressure plate or something. I kind of like get down, start feeling around, see if I can find anything.
Sure.
Quickly find
I duck.
a series of, like a hinge almost, in the ground.
Okay. If I examine the crack, do I see the only way that something could come out of this would just to swing like in front of us horizontally?
No, it looks like the ground falls down away from you.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'd tell everyone just like get back. This is either a pitfall trap or something. The ground's about to move if we continue forward.
I get back, duck, and hide in a illusion rock.
You cast an illusion spell.
Yeah.
Is it a cantrip for you?
Yeah. So I kind of just curl up in a little ball, and then I just put a rock on top of me, and I'm like, alrighty.
Maybe we should try and trigger it.
I just tried. Perhaps you could send your imp over there?
Well, I could try and just Eldritch Blast it from afar. I shoot it.
All right. Give me a d20 and don't roll one. Fuck it.
Okay.
You're in the very front of the party. No one's around you. You can't. You can't fuck this up. You blast it. The doors swing open loudly, clang against the walls below, and the torch plummets through the hole.
Okay. So it illuminates what's below? Can I peer over the hole?
You peer over the hole just in time to see the torch falling, and then goes out immediately.
Okay. So are we talking like a 300 situation here?
Like a well situation?
Yeah, 300. He kicks him into the endless pit.
Yeah, it's a pretty far drop. It's at least 60 feet.
All right.
No, I take that back. It's like 60, and it's like 100 feet down.
Okay. Because if it was 60, I'd probably just jump into it, but 100 probably not. So
Yeah.
let's avoid it.
Okay.
So can we just go around and continue on?
I mean, it blocks the entire path. You can leap over it. I think you all have a strength score of at least 10, right?
Except for Dante.
I have
Dante and
a
Varnoosh.
9
But
strength.
Dante and Varnoosh both have 9 and 8.
If you want to jump over this hole and you have less than 10 strength, you're going to need to make a strength check.
Is there, like, so it takes up the entire way? There's no way to walk around it?
Yeah.
Okay.
What if we have 2 people hold rope and have like and kind of just use that rope to cross?
Correct.
Would it be dexterity instead or something?
If you put one person on one side, another person on the other side, holding a rope between the two of them, you can just climb the rope across. You don't need to make any checks.
I suggest this.
Neal, could I use my Eldritch Blast as a sort of like pole vault technique?
No.
Because it's a 5-foot knockback, right? So if I jump over, shoot the ground, it knocks me up 5 feet in the air, and then I go over. I feel like this is legit.
You're trying to rocket jump over the pit.
Essentially, yes. Essentially, yeah.
Make him roll for it, and then when he fails, we'll just watch him fall and die as the rest of us walk across the rope.
All right, we can make this happen. What do you think is a
I'm not
fair
gonna do
goal?
it. I just want to know if it's like doable.
Something in you thinks that it could be done. You're not sure how it would work exactly, but it could be done.
All right, I want to go with the ropes, but I just want to know in the future if I could ever do that.
Okay. Yeah. So, someone jumps across and holds a rope.
Yeah, I jump across, hold the rope, toss it to Karn or something.
What's your strength score, JP?
10.
Can you hold half the weight of Dante?
I mean, if Karn's holding a part of the rope, can we share the
Dante,
load?
how heavy are you?
I am 200 pounds.
I could cross
How tall are
first
you?
and then help out.
I'm
to...
6'8".
Oh,
Tall.
okay. You're huge.
He's a fucking rail.
Yeah.
Well, he's
Okay, if
tall,
you're
but
6'8",
he's
you can lay down and just like reach the other side with your hands.
6'8",
Legit.
200 pounds is so skinny.
It's so skinny. You're like a rail. So yeah, Dante, I don't care what your strength is. You're tall enough that you can jump over this. That's not a problem.
Okay, perfect.
I didn't realize you were that tall.
Could he lay down and have me walk over him to cross?
You would crush him. You would absolutely
No.
obliterate his body.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not that. I'm only how much
Mega
do I weigh?
fat.
84 pounds.
Like it's just your hand sticking out your feet, and you would just like waddle over him and just crush him each step.
84 pounds.
But you're 3 feet tall.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean I will crush him because it's not a large amount of weight.
Ryan,
It's almost half him.
is your charisma 20 now?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'll fix that here in a sec.
Okay.
How are you getting
Dante's
across?
So I'm just human bridging it. No problem.
You human bridge it. Do you let Mr. Varnoosh walk across you?
No.
Mr. Varnoosh, where is your raccoon?
I can toss Mr. Varnoosh.
Because I feel like I would not have wanted to let it in the desert. So I think I would let it at the entry point of the thing.
I mean, there was the inn right before we left in the forest, right
Yeah, I
outside.
guess I could have let it there. I feel like it would be safer there.
I don't
Can
know,
we
because
say I
think
did that or?
didn't we agree that the raccoon was our backup plan in the desert if we ran out of rations? So I think
No.
Oh yeah, we did say that.
I think we
remember.
actually said we left him at the inn.
I think
Okay.
we already dried his meat out. Actually.
All right, he's left at the inn.
Okay.
Okay. Varnoosh, how do you get across? Oh yeah, you guys hold the rope and Varnoosh
I
crawls
tried to
across the
rope,
rope.
yeah.
I fucking toss him.
You toss him.
Yeah, like a grandma basketball shot. You know, like
What's your strength score?
19.
You toss him, no problem. He hurls over the other side, lands safely. And you are all safely across the pit. Before you is a large stone door with a doorknob on it.
Dante?
Any writing anywhere, or is it just nondescript?
nondescript.
Okay.
But it's also thickly covered in dust and cobwebs.
Let's.
Would you like me to study it to ensure it is not magical?
Yes, but also if somebody could take a torch and sort of burn these cobwebs away in case there's something written.
Someone's got to light a new torch. Someone make a new torch. Someone mark 1 lost on their character sheet.
Yeah, I'll do that. 1 from infinity. Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
I'm actually out of torches.
So you burn across the cobwebs and dust it off, and before you there's a slight inscription in Elven. Can anybody speak Elven?
Aha! Yes, I can.
Mr. Varnish can.
Yep.
But he has to sing it. That's the weird thing about him.
The Elven wall has been erected a few years ago. Something is written on it. Neil, tell me what I'm reading.
King Lotor lies here. Do not disturb.
Why have I heard Lotor?
For some reason, King Lotor lies there. And
Isn't your raccoon named Lotor?
Yes, I feel very weird about this. It's like
I feel like
got my raccoon.
I feel like this is the
Lotor.
sign we were looking for. It is too much of a coincidence that a vision of pyramids comes to me and the king is named the same as your raccoon. I think this is it.
Jen, have you ever heard of this king? Is that how you named your raccoon?
Yes.
Or is this a coincidence?
No, it's a coincidence.
Wow.
But if it can be that, I would love it to be that.
I mean, you could have been like, oh yeah, there was this old King Lotor. Like, it would be like someone naming their pet Solomon or
Jesus.
Jesus.
Take the wheel.
Or, you know, Stalin McFluffy, something like that.
Nobody named their pet Stalin. Actually, someone probably did.
Did you name your pet
Yeah,
Hitler? Would you go that far?
I don't know, not me. Never.
I totally named Lothar about because of that king. That's how we name our raccoon fighters. We name them after great kings. One of them is actually called Longborn. Mm-hmm.
Very good.
Okay.
So, this is the sign. This is it. I think we need to venture inside.
Well,
What
it says not to disturb that the King Lothar lies here.
Yes, but I mean, he's been long dead, and you know this is a very ancient culture. We have much different burial styles now.
I do not feel comfortable going into the tomb of the fallen. You can go in yourself. I won't stop you, but I am not going into this place. It is sacred.
I'll go in first, but aren't you the least bit curious to see the remains of the king that your beloved raccoon is named after?
I can watch from afar with Sir George Batman. I'm fine here.
Okay. If you want,
let me detect magic to make sure it is safe. I don't want you to get hurt. I start dancing. Ritual 10 minutes later. Is it magical? No.
The door is non-magical.
It is not
What
magical.
is the exact nature of detect magic, though?
No.
It says magic from 30 feet in front of you. This magic is where you control your actions, faint or around can penetrate barriers, but is blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, and a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt. Okay, so you detect nothing magical around you, with the exception of Amos's bow. The fairy is magical as shit, and I guess Dante's orb is a source of his power in some regards. So his orb is faintly magical.
Okay.
And there's a strange glow coming from the lower region of Karn. He's got something in his loincloth that is magical.
His testes, I believe, are.
I speak in Orcish and I say, that's funny. It's telling me you have something going on down here.
That is most perplexing indeed. I have done many investigations in my own loins, and I have found it to be a normal functioning penis, and then nothing else.
Well, I recently found. I learned how to identify things. I could study it if you want.
You want to investigate my penis?
Yes, I could watch it and study it. Yes.
D&D.
At this point, you see Amos kind of like back up. He gets into the running stance, and then just jumps into the pit and say, "Fuck it all."
You can't hear that.
You don't speak.
I'm out.
Pork.
Yeah.
Karn says, that is most generous of you. I am a little bit concerned, but perhaps we should seek a true professional before we just start probing around down there. I'm quite fond of it as it is.
Neal, which type of magic is it emanating?
You cannot tell.
All magic.
I really think I should study it, but now is not the time. Let's get back to this another time.
So I look
Indeed.
at Amos, and I say, if the floor is trapped, I'm almost certain that the door to this tomb might be as well. Is there any way that you could check the door for traps before I go in?
Yeah, before he even finishes, then so I'm going around the edges of the door and checking for things.
Give me a
back
perception
up.
check.
What's my perception? 5.
I back off again, curl
23.
up into a little rock.
Okay. You find no sign of traps.
It's like all good, ready for you to walk in. I dust my hands off.
Okay. Then I turn the doorknob and swing the door open wide.
There's a sound of stone grinding on stone, and after a moment, it stops, and you push the door, and it swings open, revealing an expanding entryway into a square room.
Okay. I Eldritch Blast the hiding spider.
You see no spider.
Corner of the tomb. Is it completely dark in there?
Except for the torchlight that you are producing.
Okay. I give the torch to my imp and command him to go in and illuminate the room.
Neal, now that the door's open, would I see if anything is magical in there? Because now the big wall is not there anymore.
You see nothing magical in here.
Okay. I stay in my little illusion rock.
How does detect magic work, Neal? Like, is it like a heat signature, or is it just like I vaguely feel like there's magic coming from that?
Think predator heat signature.
So when she looks at my loins, is it literally the shape of my penis that is magical, or is it something else?
No, there was a faint magic aura coming from the direction of your crotch. Just very faint.
All right.
Okay. So your imp flies in holding the torch.
Mm-hmm.
And
And I have an attack readied as he does this.
does it need to make... I think it needs to make an attack to hit these things. No, they don't. Okay, hold on. Okay. What is your... Can you give me a Constitution saving throw for your imp?
Okay.
I will find your imp's con, but give me the d20 aspect of it.
I rolled a 3, but I think he's got a 20 on con. So
Well, and
he's
your rolls today have been a 2
good.
and a 3. I mean,
Dude, you don't have to tell me how bad my rolls are. in
They
D&D,
pick on you.
you know, we
roll
haven't
20.
played in a month, and it just doesn't matter. It just doesn't
I
matter.
feel like I was like mean to one of the devs as a child or something, and I just never knew.
They
it.
just fucking hate you. It's
Yeah,
been since
dude,
the
they just-
beginning.
They
It
wreck me.
doesn't matter.
Your imp takes... your imp turns to its left, gives a shriek as it withers before you, taking 19 points of damage.
I'm glad
Okay,
I didn't
he-
just run in there.
He had 130 points of damage, so he's all right.
You mean HP?
Excellent.
Yeah, HP.
Are you being serious?
No,
No.
that would
he has
be
10
I
HP.
mean, If we had known, it could have been tanking the whole time. Jesus.
Whoa.
So
Jen,
the imp
you're one to talk,
withers
Miss
before
Magical
you.
Tank.
His body kind of streaking with purple veins and crumbles to the ground in a mess, dropping the torch.
So
Do
do
we-
we
And I
see
think-
anything?
I think this is the point where we roll initiative, actually.
Oh, I said I had an attack readied
He did say
in
that.
case something.
He gets a
yeah.
preemptive attack, doesn't he?
You don't see anything.
Mm.
Can I just shoot the area that it looked like it came from?
Where it looks like looking through this doorway, you have like a kind of expanding entrance, and then there's a square room which goes beyond the opening, the atrium. So whatever happened to that imp, you cannot see the source of the damage.
Okay. So
All you see is that
we
the
saw
imp like
was the
turned to
imp
its left.
with her-
Yeah.
Okay.
But I would love an initiative roll from everyone.
Oh, right. Wow.
How much initiative to make Sir George Batman?
Holler!
It's a D20 plus your initiative speed.
Oh, okay.
You just critted initiative. on this,
Yeah, dude.
Most non.
But we're not going to see what it is. We're going to waste all our turns. It's going to kill one of us, and then we have to do something after that.
Okay. So we have Varnoosh is a 16. Dante, hell yeah, 25. Karn is a 17. And Amos is a 19? Holy crap. Okay. Dante, you go first.
Okay. I don't exactly know how the hallways work here, but what I want to do, if possible, you got the square room. The guy's probably on the left somehow. I want to back up into the hallway such that I have line of sight into what's going on the left, and then hold my action.
Okay, I'm giving you like a rough sign of how the room is. Can you see this weird ass gray rectangle?
Yep.
Yes, I see it.
Okay. Yeah, let's make it a little bit easier. So this is kind of like the shape of the hallway, and this would be the doorway where this dude is standing. And whatever it is that attacked the imp is hanging out over here.
So he's got like perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
Then I will just be like here with an attack ready, I guess.
Cool. Before you guys, floating out in front of you, is a large greenish spherical monster.
If we see it, I want to attack it. We see it?
You'll get your attack, but I just want to describe it first. You totally get your ready to attack off, though. It's a floating orb of flesh with a giant mouth at the bottom part of it, teeth sticking out, a long tongue that comes out about 1.5 feet, a large eye in its center, and 4 little eye stalks coming off the ends that are darting about, looking all every way.
Wait, a beholder?
It looks a little...
Isn't that literally like the worst thing in D&D?
It can be, but they're a big family of them.
Yeah, you could...
All right.
That's what you see. Dante,
I mean, if you didn't want to do D&D in July, Neil, you didn't have to.